Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to 2023 where we have some drama. We're gonna start with Jesska Pizzle, okay? If you don't know her, she has a YouTube channel and she's very obsessed with the bros, the commentary bros. She's very obsessed and has always wanted to be a bro, so to speak, right? And we're gonna start with explaining why so many people are just really fed up with her. And I thought, guys, I would give Jesska Pizzle the honor of just making a video explaining my thoughts on the situation, since she had no problems making not one but two videos about me in 2022. So we gotta do the favor in 2023. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So basically, Jesska, she went on to Salvo Pancakes. If you don't know, he is a YouTuber. He runs this fireball game on his channel, and Jesska ends up playing and she ends up winning. Now, there was also a raffle in the chat. So if you sent donations, gave donations, then there was a raffle with that too. So Jesska won that as well. She won twice. So she won between, I don't know, off the top of my head, but it was anywhere between $360 to $380, right? And she never really got her money. Let me explain. But to be fair too, Nick Diorio, he was the first one to win and he never saw a dime. And then next was Matt Pitt and Tommy C. They won $1,100 and never saw a dime either, okay? And if you're Matt Pitt, feel free to DM me because I am more than happy to give you the $1,100. Because I guess maybe last year I think I said something like you don't have a leg to stand on. I didn't realize that you actually did not have a leg to stand on. But two, I hate Jesska Pizzle. So one, I want you to have a leg to stand on, and two, hate the bitch. So basically, Jesska won with Repzilla and she never saw a dime too. So in the beginning, when Jesska didn't win, she was kind of, communicating with Salvo and Salvo was kind of running her around and she never really got her money. So when Jesska realized she wasn't going to get her coin, she started making memes about Salvo. And this was warranted because if I played a game and I won, but not just once, but twice, I'm going to expect my coin. With that being said, this is YouTube. This is social media. So anytime I throw any money out anywhere, gambling, playing a game, etc., the number one rule is just to never expect it back. So anyways, now remember Matt Pitt, the one that was involved in winning the $1,100. Well, a little personal information that we didn't know off the bat was that his mom did pass away and he was also just struggling financially, right? So he goes to Salvo and he asks him where's the money because, for personal reasons, he needs it. Salvo gives him less than $200, okay? Out of that $1,100, gives him less than $200. Keep in mind, Matt is on disability and he's trying to raise funds, or I believe Tommy C is trying to raise funds for his other leg because he may need a replacement. So now it's making sense when they were playing this fireball game, Tommy C was like, any money that we win, it's all yours. Meanwhile, Jesska Pizzle didn't get anything. So Matt reaches out. Mind you, Matt put up with Jesska. So I guess he was like, yeah, she's obnoxious, but, he put up with her. And so Matt, he goes to Salvo on Jessica's behalf and is like, when is Jesska going to get her money? Her $360 to $380, right? And Jesska hears that Matt received less than $200, and now this becomes the person who she becomes livid with. So now Jessica's going wild on Twitter, and so now they have this podcast. You have Matt and Beavers and other guys there. I don't know their names, don't really care. And that's where they hash it out. And keep in mind, no one received their money, and eventually everyone who donated just ended up getting their money back in their bank accounts because I truly believe that Salvo is very dumb and then messed something up, you know what I mean? That's pretty much believable, right? So they're on this podcast and Jessica's going on about how Salvo, no, he took some of that money, he took some money out. It just didn't make any sense. Do you have his PayPal account number? Do you mind? I'm not even trying to defend Salvo. I'm just trying to, what makes sense, right? And common sense as well. Like, Jessica, you weren't there. You don't have his checking account. You don't have his PayPal account. How could you know? What you're doing is creating some shit scenario in your head that makes sense to you, so that way you can play victim forever. Because it's already confirmed that you're a victim, right? Like, you didn't receive your money. That's pretty much understood for the most part. But then the next part of you, like, creating stories in your head of what happened when you were present where you couldn't have possibly known. Yeah, that sounds actually pretty ridiculous. Now, I agree to the max that this side of the commentary world is racist, sexist, etc., homophobic, transphobic, like all of it. I believe that to the max here. But I don't think this was the case to preach, women's rights, how you guys are sexist, especially the group where you want to raise your hand and be a part of. Like, you want to be a part of this group so you can be mean to other women as well. So, like, you are not the poster child, the poster adult for, feminism. You are just not it. You're making claims about zero proof but preaching feminism when in reality you are not a feminist yourself. And another thing that's pretty weird is about someone who gives so much shit but cannot take any pushback. Someone who deleted their Twitter for 2 hours. Anyways, so after that podcast, then you have the YouTube channel Xylee Gets Real, and she does her own thing. She's starting her own live as scheduled. And these same people from that live, Matt Pitt, Beavers, Jessica, they're in there. And then they start talking about the same exact thing. So Jessica's on this live and she starts to reiterate every single thing that she had already said on that podcast. And she really, like, any single pushback that Jessica received, she kept repeating herself. She kept and people were very annoyed because they were like, we get it. Jessica was very hysterical and she explained herself poorly. But, that happens. It happens. As long as you can honestly acknowledge your shit, you'll be fine. Like, if you can just sit there and be like, this is what I did, this is how I acted, accept it, move on, shit would be fine. But she can't do that. What was so annoying about this is that Jessica's narrative is that her number one enemy is now Matt Pitt. Matt Pitt is the one who made her cry. So now when the whole Salvo beef happened, basically, he was accused of cheating on his wife, accused in a lot of funny business. To sum it up, to censor myself because this is only part one. We're gonna get into Salvo, Edwin, etc. But anyways, this is just Jessica. A whole entire video dedicated to her. So when the beef happened with Salvo, it was her chance once again to pick on Matt because a lot of people weren't talking, now they are, but a lot of people, when this first came out about Salvo cheating and Salvo taking advantage of women, etc., people weren't really talking about it because they thought Salvo could be trolling. So this is where Matt finally says, F you, Jessica, because she came for him for having the same opinion like a lot of other people, a lot of those greasy heads. They also had the same exact opinion. So it was really weird that now her whole entire thing was Matt Pitt. So now we hit 2023. Here is where we at. And the channel Xylee Gets Real. I guess she had a thing where she wasn't going to talk about Salvo, but now that it's 2023, she is. And she just starts going off. She goes in on every single person that was basically a piece of shit to her. She goes in on every single girl. She calls out people. It was that kind of Xylee stream where it was like, F you, F you, F you, and deuces. So it was like round of applause, right? Round of applause. Who couldn't give the round of applause? Jesska Pizzle. She took to Twitter and was kind of like, well, I called out Salvo first. I did this first. And it was kind of like, you couldn't just like let a girl win. You couldn't just be like, are y'all friends? Are you in the channel Xylee Gets Real? Are you two friends? Like, I kind of want to know that situation because it don't seem like it to me, because if you are a true friend, if you are a real one, well, just shut up. This is social media. You be envious at home in your room. Be envious in your car, in the shower, in the bathroom, in real life. You don't have to take all your feelings to social media. Shit. Jesus, you couldn't let her just have a win, have a round of applause, Jessica? Was that too much to ask for? It was. Because guess who commented? Matt Pitt. Matt Pitt basically said something along the lines of like, You want a W so bad. Like, you want to win. Here you go. Like, you want a pat on the back. You want a gold medal. So then you have the next day where Petty Page has her stream. Now, keep in mind, Salvo, he mocked Greasy Head's mom. You know what I mean? He mocked Xylee from the channel Xylee Gets Real and her husband. And Salvo was also involved with doxing someone from his used to be podcast that he had with Keemstar. So keep in mind, there was a lot of chatter. There still is as I'm filming this. And so now Petty Page has her stream. And in Page's stream, Page is kind of just like the same thing. Like, if we all want to be technical about who found what first, it doesn't really matter who found what first, who did this first. Like, you know, you sound like a child. You sound foolish. So shortly after this, here's a little backstory real quick. So Salvo and the channel Xylee Gets Real, they did not get along ever. He said inappropriate things about her. Now here's where the Parking Tiger Discord, how they start entering into this picture. So Jessica, she joins Parking Tiger, and Parking Tiger, they were people who were Team Salvo. They were in the channel Xylee Gets Real, the chat of that channel. They were constantly in there trolling. They were trolling nonstop, right? And keep in mind, Jessica and Xylee, they're supposed to be buddies, I think, or they appear to be on social media, on Twitter. So Jessica decides, after all this drama, to join the Parking Tiger Discord. And now she is a mod for the Parking Tiger Discord, right? The same Discord that trashed the Xylee Gets Real channel, right? So what's interesting to me is, like, Jessica seems to... The statements of her having the mentality of a child aligns with her actions. Feel me? Like, oh my gosh, this group doesn't like me over here. Let me go over here. Even though, you know, that's like morally wrong in my opinion. So while that action was taking place by Jessica, there were still talks about, like, Jessica was still going on about how she didn't get her money, and where you have Matt Pitt, who, like, genuinely, his mom passed away and he's trying to raise money for a new leg. So which one is more significant here? But there was one person, one username who thought it was significant, or at least Jessica's case, which was the username CooterPot Pie, which I guess is more on Keemstar's chat. This CooterPot Pie username actually gave Jesska Pizzle her money, right? So we're done, right? We're done. This username gave Jessica her money, followed by Tipster, who gave Jessica $200, okay? So really, when one is doing the math here, not only did Jessica get the money that she won, but she got more, okay? More. And do you think she would be quiet about this now? Be appreciative? Shut the fuck up? No, of course not. What's really frustrating about this, looking from the outside in, is that Jessica really could have come out on top of this. She could have for once in her life, at least on social media, show that she's an actual adult, actually confirm and prove it by just like coming on top of it by saying, okay, well, you know, Nick didn't get his money, Matt didn't get his money, and you understand you didn't either, but look how like they're handling it. Look at their response. Like, it's okay to get mad, but to drag it this far. I mean, all this complaining, she could have clocked in somewhere and get a second job if she has one at first. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me that, like, what are you complaining about? You got your money. All Jesska Pizzle, I mean, this should already, like, her actions speak more louder than her words. All Jessica cares about is herself, okay? I hope with that $500 or whatever she got, she invested in a new mic. I hope that she's able to really see that, you know, people don't dislike you because of like your argument of not getting paid. People dislike you because you're coming off as the most inconsiderate piece of shit known to man. Okay, you're coming off as like you don't give a shit about Matt and his leg and his mom passed away. You don't care. You're complaining about money that you have already received. And then you delete your Twitter because you get called out for being a piece of shit once again for not caring about Matt's mom passing away. Like, why do you care this much about the money? Get over it. You know, I know there's a lot of things like these sayings about how it takes time for people to get over you got your money. Get over it.
You promised me the money before this. You said, yes, we can't let Steve Believer Oracle make it to round 2. In the unlikely event I win, I will give my winnings 2 mats for his leg.
What?
And I said, no, Jessica, keep it. And you said, shut up, Matt. You have no say in this. Plus, there's like a 0.002% chance I even make it to day 2. So it's kind of like a virtue signal if you think about it. Well, but seriously, I think you deserve a leg. Well, Jessica, thank you. I'm glad you think I deserve a leg. But, yeah. So you promised me the money, right? And I say, no. And why is that, Jessica? Why are you doing that? Because you're a nice person? No. Do you want to feel good for a second? You want to make yourself feel good for a second? Because the moment I knew it, the moment you were going to win the money, it's your money. You have every right to take it. You know, you have every right to take the money. Fuck Matt Pitt, right? Fuck him. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck me. I'm not going to take, even if you said, no, you're taking the money. Even if you said, no, take the money, I would have refused outright. But still, that's the kind of person you are. All right? The person to pretend that you want to give someone money, when in reality, you had no inkling to actually do it. You weren't going to give me the money. Let's be real.